So in this video, we will discuss the numericals, the same numericals that we have discussed in the previous class with the help of SJF scheduling. We will discuss the same numerical with the help of FCFS scheduling. Okay. So as it is given that the three processes P1, P2, P3 with process time 20, 30 and 10 respectively, and each process uses first 30% of its process time in CPU and then 50% in IO and then last 20% in CPU. So we'll find the average waiting time, turnaround time and response time with the help of first come first serve scheduling. So as we know, first come first serve scheduling is of which type? Is non-preemptive mode. It is of non-preemptive mode. So in this mode, the process which come first in the ready state, then the CPU would allocate that process at first. Okay, the process which is come first in the ready state will allocate the CPU at first, and the mode of this algorithm, the mode of this scheduling is of non-preemptive. And also we have discussed the non-preemption version of this algorithm. The non-preemptive means the process which is executing in CPU, we cannot forcefully remove that CPU till its termination. This is the first point, and second point is when it will leave the CPU in one condition. So the condition is during its execution in CPU, if it requires some IO operation, then any IO request is there, then at that cases it will leave the CPU at that moment and it will go to the block state. Here this is the ready state. A process first arrived at the ready state will assign to the CPU at first, then it will go to the running state. Fine. After execution of its, after the termination of this process, it will simply terminate, or during its execution, if it required some IO operation, then only it can go to the block state. Okay. So it is the IO operation. Fine. And after completing of its IO request, it will go to the ready state to resume its executions. Okay. So let us try to solve these numericals with the help of FCFS scheduling. So first of all, we'll draw the Gantt chart. So first of all, we'll see which processes come first. Okay. At time 0, just look at this table. At time 0, is there any process which arrived in the ready state first? Yes, we have all the three processes which is arrived at the time 0. So at time 0 in ready state, there are three processes P1, P2 and P3. As all the processes P1, P2, P3 have been arrived at the time 0, then to break the tie, we'll go through the order of writing the process. So first we will allocate P1 to the CPU at time 0. Then for how long time? So see, the first 30% of its process time in CPU. First 30% means 6 units of time it will spend in CPU. Then at the time 6, it will go to the IO operation. It will go to the block state for doing its IO operation. Fine. So for 6 units of time, P1 will execute in CPU. So now P1 will be picked by the operating system and it will go to the running state. Now P1 is in running state. For how long time? 6 units of time. At 6 units of time, it will go to the block state. P1 is now in block state for 10 units of time. So we can write P1 will come at 6 plus 10 at 16 unit of time. When the time will be 16, P1 will again come to the ready state and it will go to the running state for doing its last part of CPU. Okay, next is P2. We will allocate the CPU to P2. For how long time? For 9 units of time. Okay, as P2 uses first 30% of its process time in CPU. So 6 plus 9, that is 15. At 15, P2 will go to the block state. So now the time is 15 and P2 within block state. So here we have two processes in block state now at the 15 units of time. And see, P1 will come at 16 but the time is 15. Okay. So now in ready state, we have only one process is there. So there is no chance we have to allocate P3 to the CPU. Okay, P1, P2 still executing in, still doing its IO operation in block state. So P3 will pick by the operating system and it will go to the running state. And now we have to allocate P3. And again, we can write P2 will come at which time? 15 plus how long time it will execute, it will doing its IO operation? 15 units of time. So 15 plus 15, that is 30. So P2 will come back at 30 when the time will 30. So P3 executes its first 30% in CPU, that is 3 unit of time. First process time, 3 unit of time it will execute in CPU. So 15 plus 3, that is 18. And now P3 is within block state. And we have to check, is there any process? So in ready state there is no process here. And we have to check, is there any process which has come back to the ready state? We have to again and again we have to check out the time. The time is 18 and already you have written that P1 will come at 16. When the time is 16, P1 already came into the ready state. Okay, now in ready state at 18 unit of time in ready state, P1 leaves the block state and it will resume its execution. For resuming its execution, it will go to the ready state. Now in ready state, P1 is there. P3, which is in block state, will come at 18 plus 5, that is 23. When the time is 23 milliseconds, 23 unit of time, the time 23, P3 will come to the ready state. Now in ready state we have one and only P1. So we have to put the P1 into the CPU. That is 18 plus 4, 22. Now P1 is terminated. At 22, is there any process which is in ready state? No, there is no process in ready state because P2 will come at 30 and P3 will come at 23 and the time is now 22. Fine. So in this case, CPU will be ideal for 1 unit of time. CPU would ideal for how many time? 23. And when the time is 23, see, P3 will come back to the ready state. Now in ready state, P3 is there. Okay. So we will allocate P3. For how long time? See the rest time, that is 2 unit of time. It is already completed. It's 8 unit of time of process time. And rest is 2 unit of time, that is 25. Now P3 terminated. Okay. P3 terminated. Now the time is 25. See, at 25, check out, is there any process which is in ready state? No, there is no process. Already P1, P3 was terminated, and P2 rest, the last process P2 is there, which is in block state, and it will come back at time 30. So, but now the time is 25. So now CPU will be idle. For how long time? For 30 unit of time. CPU will be idle because we have no process in the ready state. Okay. CPU have to idle for 5 unit of time. Fine. At 30, P2 will come back to the ready state. P2 leave the block state and will go to the ready state. Okay. So, how long time it will be executing in CPU? For P2, that is the rest time is 6. So, we allocate P2 to the CPU. For how many time? For 6 unit of time, that is 36. Now, P2 is terminated. Okay. Now, we will find the waiting time, turnaround time and response time. So, let us find out the completion time. So, at what time P1 is completed? See the Gantt chart. Here, don't look at this. At 6 unit of time, P1 is partially completed. For P2, the completion time is 36. For P3, completion time is 25. Next is turnaround time. Completion time minus arrival time. Or you can say waiting time plus burst time. That is turnaround time. So for P1, turnaround time is 22 minus 0, that is 22. For P2, that is 36. For P3, that is 25 minus 0, that is 25. Okay, this is the turnaround time. Next, find out the waiting time. How to calculate waiting time? See, here turnaround time equal to waiting time plus burst time. So, waiting time would be turnaround time minus burst time. So, we have already turnaround time of the each and every processes. So, for P1, what is the waiting time? Turnaround time minus burst time. So, what is the burst time? Burst time means this one. Process time, we also know that process time means CPU time plus IO time. We know process time is what? CPU time plus IO time. We will not take this IO time because this IO time, the process will go to the block state, and how long time it will execute in CPU, that is this one, this and this, 6 plus 4, that is 10. This is the burst time of this process P1, and 9 plus 6, that is 15. 15 units of time P2 has executed in CPU, and 3 plus 2, that is 5 unit of time P3 has executed in CPU. So, waiting time for P1, waiting time would be 22 minus 6 plus 4, that is 10. 22 minus 10, that is 12. For P2, waiting time would be 36 minus 9 plus 6, that is 15. For P3, 25 minus turnaround time minus burst time, 3 plus 2, that is 5, 20. Okay. So, the waiting time of P1, P2, P3 would be 12, 21 and 20. Next is response time. Response time means at what time after the arrival of a process, at what time CPU would allocate to the CPU? At first time. Okay, for P1, at time 0, it already allocate to the CPU. CPU would allocate to the P1 at time 0, and the arrival time of the P1 is 0. So, as the P1 is arrived at the ready state, at that moment, CPU would allocate to the P1. So, the response time is 0. For P2, at first, when the time P2 would allocate to the CPU at time 6, and the arrival time of the P2 is 0. So, 6 minus 0, that is response time is 6. For 6 unit of time, P2 had to wait for the CPU. When the CPU would allocate to the P3 is 15 and the arrival time of the P3 is 0. So, the response time is 15. Let us find out the CPU utilization. How to calculate CPU utilizations? So, already we have discussed the CPU utilization in the previous class, that is expected time divided by actual time. Expected CPU time by actual. So, what is the expected CPU time? Expected, that means we cannot take this IO operation, IO request. We just take this only CPU burst time, that 6 plus 4, that is for P1, 6 plus 4, that is 10, plus 9 plus 6, that is 15, plus 3 plus 2, that is 5, divide by actual time that it has taken, that is 36, final. At what time all the processes have completed its execution? At 36. The actual time is 36 and the expected is this. Fine. So, 30 minus 36. 83.3%. It would be 83.3%. Okay. So, next find out the efficiency. Fine. Efficiency is ideal time, CPU ideal time and actual time divided by actual time. How long time CPU have ideal? So, this one, look at this, for 1 unit of time and next for 5 unit of time. Here for 5 unit of time CPU have idle and for 1 unit of time. So, 1 plus 5, that is 6, by actual time is 36. So, percentage is 16.66%. So, the CPU utilization is 83.3% and efficiency of the CPU is 16.66%. That's all. In the next video, we will discuss about round robin algorithm. Till then, take care. Bye bye.